Okay, has everybody calmed down? I've had a lie down. I feel better now. What a weekend. Leeds United get a last gasp winner against Swansea City, and now we have 3 huge games to go. It's all set up. Well, let's look back at the weekend. Let's look forward to the next game, and let's also have a chat with a couple of very well-known Leeds United figures. Delighted to say we've got Paul Robinson in the studio, and I'm also delighted to say we've got Dominic Matteo joining us as well. Dom, lovely to have you with us. There's a very obvious question I'm going to ask you first. How are you feeling?
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. Good to see you. Good to see you, Robbo. Always a pleasure to see you, mate. Yeah, I'm not doing too bad. Yeah, we just take each day as it comes. It's the old cliche, especially like the football terms, isn't it? We just carry on. We've got a scan coming up on Thursday, and then obviously every 3 months going forward. So I'm just trying to readjust to that situation for me and the family, which has been quite tough at times. Obviously, 3 young kids, and obviously my wife's been incredible right throughout this. I must, give her special credit. She doesn't get enough credit for what she's been through as well, because we all go through it. But no, we're doing good. Like you say, it's all about positivity now for me. I've changed in a lot of ways. My diet's changed dramatically, but apart from that, you'll see the same old Dom, the same old reactions to the way, my football stories and, my life. Nothing's going to change for me. I want to just keep going and keep the momentum going as well. Same as Leeds.
I can't imagine you'd be heading too many footballs though, because it was a very, very serious condition you found yourself with all of a sudden, wasn't it?
Yeah, to be honest, I had a headache, and I was taking a couple of paracetamol, and then my doctor she talked me into going to see her, which was very unusual for me. I've never actually been to see a doctor. It's not been a club doctor. So I had a headache, went to see the doctor. She said, "Got to get you in for a scan because we never see you. So we just want to get an idea if it's if painkillers are working or whatever." So I went into Leeds and seen a doctor, and next thing you know, they told me to go nowhere because they'd obviously seen so much straight away, and there was a massive brain tumour in my head. It was huge, So it was a big shock, and I think as soon as it kind of happened, before I knew it, I was in hospital more or less the next day, and life-saving operation that saved my life. Obviously saved my life, and I'm so thankful to the people in Leeds, all the staff, all the nurses, all the doctors. They really did. They did. When I say save my life, they did. It was touch and go for a while. My wife obviously had to make some big decisions for me because I wasn't able to. And I'm getting goosebumps talking about it because it was something you never think and never expect to happen to you, but it did. And we're dealing with it now. That's all I can do. It was frightening. It was more frightening for my wife and for my kids, because that's the one thing you don't ever want to have a conversation about with your kids. And I think we've tried to deal with it the right way. Obviously told the kids some stuff, but not everything. And life moves on, doesn't it? I'm part of lots of people who are in similar positions, and I'm fortunate at the moment that I'm doing okay. So I just live each day as it comes, and that's my philosophy, and enjoy life as well, because I think sometimes we all forget to do that, and especially with Leeds at the moment, guys, doing well. Let's enjoy these games that are coming up and look forward to it. That's what I'm looking forward to, is trying to get myself and my family back to normality. And I think, speaking, obviously speaking to Paul, people like this, people that have known me, know what I'm like. But they've all been helping me. Anyone speaking to me about football at the moment is really helping. So thanks for having me on again, guys. And like you say, hopefully you'll enjoy the show.
Doesn't seem to have changed a lot, does he, Robbo? Still likes to talk.
No, he looks fantastic. He's just so pleased to look at him and see him doing so well. It's such a scary thing for anyone to have to go through. But when it's somebody you've played with, somebody around similar age, and you class as your friend. You don't keep in touch with people as men do. One text every 6 months, your best friends. But it's at times like that when you all rally around together, and we were a close knit group that era. And how has your life changed, Dom, after it? Obviously, the way you look after yourself. You mentioned your diet. Have you started training a lot more? You getting yourself fit, or have you still got obviously repercussions from the illness?
Yeah, I think it's a really good question. It could be as big as long as you want, talking to me. But I think what I've done straight away is alcohol's had to go, unfortunately, for me, which has been a big blow. Obviously, I like a couple of beers, which everyone knows, and I was renowned for it in a way. So maybe it was the right time make some changes. I'll still have the odd beer, but nothing like it used to be. I'm really concentrating on the fitness side of it and the health side of it, because at the end of the day, I've got, like I mentioned, I've got 3 kids and a wife, and I want to be around for a lot longer. So them sacrifices, and I'm doing that at the minute, and I don't mind, because what's a couple of beers when it comes to talking about your life and your kids' happiness? Everything pales into small significance when you're talking about that kind of stuff. There's more important stuff going on in the world, and that's all I'm concentrating on. My rehabilitation is huge, and I've got to stay on the right track, and I'm determined to do that. It's difficult. Food and stuff is, I wouldn't say it's. The wife's a good cook. I'm not giving her any stick. It's just readapting to. I was a happy-go-lucky lad. Sometimes have the odd cheeseburger, or a night out and you have a kebab or whatever, because that's part of what you do as a lad or a bloke or a girl or whatever you do. You all have your little vices, and unfortunately for me, I've had to change a lot. But sometimes, when I look at it, it might be for the better for all of us, and I don't mind. I've had a good go at things going forward. So I'm just looking forward to my next chapter. There's a lot of things I've got to get over, but positivity is the main thing in this position now, moving for me to get into a better position in life.
Dom, memories may be an issue. So do you have those memories? Do you remember the header, the Champions League goal and all that sort of stuff? Is that still there?
I'll never forget that one. A great night afterwards, as well. As Rob all know, we had a couple of glasses of red and a couple of Peronis in Italy, in Milan. But I don't think Peter Risdale would have liked the bill afterwards, because that was quite a hefty one. I think me and Kells were up till about 4 or 5 in the morning. I think we went straight back at it actually the next day. So amazing times. And they're the days that I think we all look back on, because the Champions League, we didn't get much of it. We had one season in there really, which is a disappointing thing. I think we had better players to play more on a regular basis, but it was an incredible time. Absolutely brilliant group of players. Robbo's mentioned that earlier, and I think we all do stick together, even though we don't see each other. Even time to time, a little text message, or you'll see one of the boys at Leeds or wherever working or doing different jobs. It's great just to see people and get reacquainted and think about and talk about the past games and stuff, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what you've won, what you've done. It's all about memories that you've created with people, and with the fans as well. I've got special credit to what they did on them nights. As Robbo will tell you, some of the best nights we've ever had have been celebrating wins and draws and different things around the Champions League. It's incredible scenes, and I don't think we'll ever see them kind of scenes again. The sing-song, of Lee Bowyer and Gary Kelly in Milan, it was just incredible. And I'm sure Robbo will back me up on that.
Well, it was when we were in Milan after Dom's header in the San Siro. I think we took 12,000 fans there away at the San Siro, and to get the result that we needed, we were all stuck in the dressing room underneath. The stadium was empty, but we could hear the fans, and somebody came down and said, look, the fans are stuck in the stadium, that they're not been allowed out. So we took it upon ourselves and went out, and we had a sing-song with them, and that was probably one of the most memorable European nights. I mean, we had a lot of memorable European nights, but to actually share it with them in the stadium, it was phenomenal, thanks to that man's header. Yeah,
great pictures. I remember that from that night as well. So Leeds United now possibly in a position to get back somewhere closer to where they need to be in terms of those sorts of memories, Champions League and all the rest of it. After we look back at the weekend, Leeds United took a big step closer to get into that position with a terrific win at Swansea. How do you feel they did and put themselves in the frame in terms of that result, Dom? What sort of bonus can they get from that last-minute winner?
Oh, I mean, that's exactly how you'd want the game to end, wouldn't you? If you're a fan or a Leeds fan, I just think when you get them last-minute winners, they don't come very often. They didn't really come very often in my career. And I don't know if they did for Robbo, but they're the real special.
They normally went the other way, Dom.
With what was at stake as well, so much at stake. And I thought that the players dealt with the situation so well. They were very calm. The way the game, it wasn't an easy game against Swansea. They're a difficult side. They're hard to play against. They've got a good ethic about them. The way they play now, Ryan Brewster's a real threat. I've seen plenty of him with the Liverpool lads as well. He's a good young player. So there was always going to be a difficult game. But I always thought it was a game that we could manage and get through, because I think the group's so good and it works so well. And I think the changes we've been making have worked so well when you've been bringing Hernandez on late in games, and he's just freshening things up. And he's the match winner, isn't he? We all know that he's got the most ability at the football club, and the other players sometimes have to do them workmanlike jobs, as we've all done over the years, for them to get them other players on the ball. And I think that's one thing we've been really good at: is getting the talented players on the ball, and maybe the less talented ones just doing a real shifting behind. And I think all credit to the players, to Liam Cooper and his team. You've got to give them exceptional credit that they work so well as a team, and that's the most important thing for me.
Yeah, when you look at that sprint, Luke Ayling's sprint from full back in the 89th minute, at the end of a hard game, 3 days or so after your last game, that's a bit different, that, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, the fitness levels have never been you've been questioned. They're the fittest, they're the strongest in the league by a long way. And the Swansea, the performance, it probably wasn't as dominant as people would have thought and as what we've been used to seeing. But it was a performance that felt like a real turning point. That goal that Pablo scored, it just felt like that was it. And you saw the goalkeeper's celebration. He sprinted the whole length of the pitch to celebrate with the team. And it just really felt like such a key moment at the weekend, as a catalyst for the first time in a long, long time that we can actually do this now. It really is within touching distance. But you say about Luke Ayling's sprint and the fitness levels of the team, the strength of the team, the repetitiveness that he uses the same players, and the way he manages these players, like Pablo. He's obviously coming on as a half-time substitute, and you watch the game quite pessimistically and you think, 0-0 at half-time, we haven't had the best of the game. Don't worry, Pablo's coming on, it's fine. And then the game changes again in the second half. But to continually go and play for 90 minutes, 92 minutes, 93 minutes and get a result, it was fantastic to see.
So that sets things up really, really nicely for the next game. It's Barnsley at home. Barnsley, bottom of the table. Leeds United, top of the table. What could possibly go wrong?
Well, I generally think that confidence is key at the moment. And that's what I think we're full of at the moment. We've got so many good young players as well. And I think that's really helped the energy levels. And, obviously we had the break for what was going on. That might have actually helped Leeds a little bit, because we have been guilty in the past of not getting over the line. I think at the moment we just look a little bit fitter, a little bit stronger than a lot of other teams. And I think when you get to this point of the season, these are the main games now. It doesn't matter how you win, just get them over the line. And if you win ugly, that's one thing Leeds haven't really been good at, in my opinion, over the years of winning. You got to win ugly. Robbo will tell you, you've got to win some games. You've just got to grind a couple of results out and get over the line. And that's what we've been doing. But also, in a way, still playing some good football as well, because we can't get away from the football that Bielsa plays and his team. They play very good football. They're brilliant to watch. I'm always looking forward to watching them play and how they play and how they set up. He's a mathematical genius at times. I know that word we don't use, mathematical, but he looks into everything, doesn't he? He knows everything. And when you speak to players who've been around him, the knowledge he has and the knowledge he's bringing to some of these, bigger known, Jurgen Klopp, all these great players, they're all learning from people like Bielsa, because he's got so much knowledge. He knows the game inside out. People might not say, he didn't win as many trophies as Pep Guardiola or all these boys, but I tell you what, he puts in as much effort and much endeavour as anyone else does. And just hearing people like them talk about Bielsa like that is incredible for Leeds. And the confidence we must get as players and staff being around him must be immense. I'd love to play for him. He's one of those people that you go out and work your socks off for.
And Calvin Phillips is going to be a miss for this next game, Paul, but I guess the team's had to deal with little adversity. Not a massive squad, is it? So players who've come in have had to come in and do the job, which will again be the case now for at least the next game. Maybe the next 3 games, we'll see. But
we've seen the manager work with a small squad since he's been here. That's what he wants to work. He wants to focus on the players he's got. The amount of players that he's improved in the system that he plays is incredible. Calvin Phillips has been key and pretty central to a lot of what Leeds have done recently. But we've seen this season when he's put Ben White in there, he's proved more than capable of doing that role. There was a time early on in the season when he played it and there was a question mark as to could we still play the system without Calvin Phillips. But the way that Ben White's played this season, for me, he's been one of, if not the player of the season. I think he's been absolutely exceptional. And he can adapt to that holding midfield role, bring Berardi back in at centre-half if that's the formation he chooses to play. And I don't think it's going to be a huge miss without him, but I don't think it will be a problem to Leeds with him missing. I think the performances that we're seeing now are due to the Cardiff result and the Luton result, I think, you know, it's going to sound completely double Dutch, but those results in a way were the shot in the arm that they needed. Maybe a lot of people like myself thought they'd come back from lockdown, they'd be fitter, stronger than anybody else, and they'd get this league sewn up within 3 or 4 games. Those first 2 games were the shot in the arm that they needed, and the performance that recently that we've seen at Blackburn against Stoke and again at the weekend have been a catalyst because of those 2 performances.
And all the way through, Dom, the message from the players, it was after the game, after those celebrations at the weekend in Swansea, but the message from the players when you speak to them is exactly the same, that all we can do, forget Brentford, forget West Bromwich Albion, their results are almost irrelevant. If we keep doing our job and focus on the next one and win the next one, then that's job done, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And like you say, it's doing the basics well again. I always go back to the basics because always helped me as a player. Get back to the basics, do them well. If you do them well in every game, week in, week out, you'll move forward as a player as well. I think your improvement comes under Bielsa and his coaching staff. We just seem to be improving. So many young players and even older players are getting the benefit from it. I mean, how old is Hernandez now? Is he 35, 34, 35? You know, we've got players who've been there, seen it and done it, but they've still got that belief and that energy still to put a shift in. And also, we've got some quality as well. This is the thing we don't really look about Leeds too much. We've got a lot of quality players throughout the squad, and you know we've got to look at that for next season, because I generally think next season is very important, and we'll be building towards that. I'm sure you have to, as a football club, you have to be looking forward, not back when it comes to your signings and players brought in. I think Leeds fans thought we might have went out and bought a load more players, but we didn't. He knew what he wanted, he knew how to play, and he stuck to it. And sometimes I think clubs rush into buying a lot of players and making rash decisions. I don't think we've done that. I think that throughout the managerial team and all the staff at Leeds United, Victor Orton and other people, they've all made good decisions at the right time for the football club. And that's one thing we haven't done over the years. And I think we're getting better at doing that. And we have to do it if we're going to be playing at the highest level, which I believe we will be.
Listen, I'm still nervous as a kitten, but that's just me. Loads of fans are already, well, almost booking parties, if you like. Others are still very nervy. So there are 2 camps there. Which camp are you in, Paul?
More than confident. The performances that I've seen of late, you know, it's quite easy to be pessimistic as a Leeds fan and to look on, you know, the side of, you know, we haven't quite done it yet, which we haven't. There's important games before we play the Barnsley game, but I think the opportunity is there for all to see. And I genuinely do strongly believe that this is the season, and you know, come Sunday night potentially we could be a Premier League team.
Dare to dream. Look forward to the 2 games, starting of course with Barnsley. Join us on LUTV for all the coverage to that game. We'll be on air from 1 hour before kick-off. To the 2 guys, to Dom, thanks very much. Look forward to seeing you down at Ellen Road very soon. And to Paul, thank you very much as well. See you on Thursday.